Today's message is,
El mensaje de hoy es
it is mocking others' worship
burlarse de la adoración de otros.
will have you barren.
Te pone estéril.
So when you mock someone else's worship,
Cuando tú te burlas de la adoración de otro,
the Lord closes your
el Señor cierra tu
vientre.
vientre.
Amen. We're going to see it in the word where this happened.
Vamos a ver la palabra lo que sucedió,
Where this happened.
donde esto pasó.
And I didn't make it up.
Yo realmente no lo inventé.
When I received it this week from the Lord,
Cuando lo recibí esta semana del Señor,
I made one post.
escribí algo
And then after that, I was like, stop, that's your message.
y después de eso dije, detente porque ese es tu mensaje.
Because usually I'll get things from the Lord
Porque usualmente recibo cosas del
and
Señor
I just start posting,
y
right?
comienzo a ponerlos.
But this is special.
Pero esto es especial,
This is good stuff.
esto es bueno.
Amen. So it's found in, and I can give you all my notes. I can give you, if you want to follow along, it's going to be in 2 Samuel chapter 6.
Se lo voy a dar las notas, se encuentra en 2 Samuel capítulo 6.
And it's going to be verses 16 through 23 are the main verses.
2 Samuel 6, del 16 al 23.
Those are the main verses.
Estos son los versículos
That way if you want
principales
to follow along.
que vamos a estar siguiendo.
I'm going to read the word now. Amen. It says, as the ark of the Lord was entering the city of David, Michal, daughter of Saul, watched from the window. And when she saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, she despised him in her heart. They brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place inside the tent that David had pitched for it. And David sacrificed burnt offerings and fellowship offerings before the Lord. After he had finished sacrificing the burnt offerings and the fellowship offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord Almighty. Then he gave a loaf of bread, a cake of dates, and cake of raisins to each person in the whole crowd of Israelites, both men and women. And all the people went to their homes. When David returned home to bless his household, Michal, daughter of Saul, came out to meet him and said, how the king of Israel has distinguished himself today, going around half naked in full view of the slave girls, his servants, as any vulgar fellow would. David said to Michal, it is before the Lord who chose me rather than you, your father, or anyone from this house. When he appointed me ruler over the Lord's people, I will celebrate before the Lord. I will become even more undignified than this, and I will be humiliated in my own eyes. But by the slave girls you spoke of, I will be held in honor. And Michal, daughter of Saul, had no children till her death. Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Sucedió que al entrar al arca del Señor a la ciudad de David, Michal, hija de Saúl, se asomó a la ventana. Y cuando vio que el rey David estaba saltando y bailando delante del Señor, sintió por él un profundo desprecio. El arca del Señor fue llevada a la tienda de campaña de David, le había preparado. La instalaron en su sitio. Y David ofreció holocaustos y sacrificios de comunión en presencia del Señor. Después de ofrecer los holocaustos y los sacrificios de comunión, David bendijo al pueblo en el nombre del Señor Todopoderoso. Y a cada uno de los israelitas que estaban allí congregados, que eran toda la multitud de hombres y mujeres, les repartió pan, una torta de dátiles y una torta de uvas pasas. Después de eso, todos regresaron a sus casas. Cuando David volvió para bendecir a su familia, Michal, la hija de Saúl, le salió al encuentro y le reprochó: ¿qué distinguido se ha visto hoy el rey de Israel, desnudándose como un cualquiera en presencia de las esclavas de sus oficiales? David le respondió: lo hice en presencia del Señor, quien en vez de escoger a tu padre o a cualquier otro de su familia, me escogió a mí y me hizo gobernante de Israel, que es el pueblo del Señor. De modo que seguiré bailando en presencia del Señor y me rebajaré más todavía hasta humillarme completamente. Sin embargo, estas mismas esclavas de quienes hablas me rendirán honores. Y Michal, hija de Saúl, murió sin haber tenido hijos.
Isn't that intense?
Es intenso, ¿verdad?
Just reading that portion
O sea, leyendo esa porción nada más,
without going into it and talking about it.
sin ir dentro y sin hablar de eso, es intenso.
So you see here that mocking someone's worship.
Usted ve aquí que burlarse de la adoración de alguien
will make you barren.
te hace estéril.
Sad.
Es triste.
So Saul had started to focus on other gods. If we look at the history of all this,
Si veamos la historia de todo esto,
Saul,
Saúl,
I said that, but you didn't say any of that part. Saul had started focusing on other gods.
Saúl se comenzó a enfocar en otros dioses.
That's why when David came into the palace,
Cuando David vino al palacio,
his heart was to restore godly worship.
su corazón fue para restaurar la adoración.
His heart was to restore the tabernacle of David,
Su
right?
corazón era para restaurar el
The
tabernáculo.
worship, not really his.
La adoración no es la adoración, no solamente él.
And he wanted to bring God back to the people,
Él quería traer a Dios a su pueblo,
or people to God.
o su pueblo a Dios.
Amen? So when the ark was coming into the city,
Cuando el arca venía a la ciudad,
he was leaping
él
and
estaba
dancing.
saltando y danzando.
He was in a place of praise. He started off with like leaping. Leaping is not something
Saltando.
simple.
Cuando se dice saltando no es algo sencillo, es saltar a alta altura.
Have you seen those people who use those poles in like Olympics and they do this and they jump on over and I don't know what it's called at
¿No has
all.
visto a las personas cuando hacen las olimpiadas que cargan la vara y se
And
la
they
ponen y
just
brincan?
leap on over, right? Because leap is something that's high.
So, saltar significa algo alto.
So he was jumping with all his might. I might actually hit the same. Pastor Angel can't do it, but like as high as you can, right?
Se estaba saltando lo más que podía,
With all his energy
con toda su energía
and with all his strength.
y toda su fuerza.
That's just the leaping part.
Esa es la parte de saltar
And then dancing.
y danzando.
So can you imagine
Tú te puedes imaginar,
that he was leaping and
Estaba
dancing
saltando y
and
danzando
jumping all around
y
and
brincando alrededor.
this is organized
Y esto aquí organizado,
with all his might,
con toda su mente,
with every fiber of his being.
con toda fibra de su ser.
He was leaping.
Estaba
and he was
saltando
dancing.
y danzando.
That's just the first thing you hear.
Esa es la primera que te escucha.
So he saw the ark,
So, él vio el arca
and that made him start dancing and leaping.
y eso lo hizo hacer saltar y danzar.
Ah, the ark of the presence of the Lord is coming in here
So, el arca de la presencia de Dios viene aquí
to my city,
para mi ciudad,
to my home,
para mi casa,
to my life.
para mi vida.
I'm gonna celebrate that,
Voy a celebrar eso.
right?
¿verdad?
When you see God coming,
Cuando tú ves a Dios venir,
what are you gonna do?
¿qué tú vas a hacer?
Are you gonna be depressed?
¿Vas a estar depresivo?
Are you gonna greet the Lord with "Woe is me"?
¿O vas a darle bienvenida al Señor como que
Like, hi,
¿Qué será de mí?
Jesus.
No,
Hola,
with joy.
Señor.
With joy.
Con gozo?
I mean, He's showing us how we are to receive the Lord,
Él nos enseña a nosotros cómo recibir al Señor.
and the Lord teaches us
Y el
how
Señor nos
he,
enseña
how he should be received,
cómo Él debe ser recibido.
Amen.
right?
Amén.
I mean, he was leaping and dancing, so we
Fue
just get that.
saltando y brincando.
He was a leader.
Él fue un líder,
He was a king,
un rey,
but he was a lover of the Lord.
pero fue un amante del Señor.
The most
Amen.
thing that we know about David,
La cosa más grande que sabemos de David es
he was a man after God's own heart.
que fue un hombre conforme al corazón de Dios.
Can you imagine that?
¿Tú te imaginas eso?
Like, and he was a murderer.
Fue un asesino,
He coveted someone else's wife.
so, pues la mujer de alguien,
He killed the guy.
mató a la persona,
But this is a man after God's own heart.
pero este es el hombre conforme al corazón de Dios.
You know, what made him a man after God's own heart?
¿Qué lo hizo a él hacer ser un hombre conforme al corazón de Dios?
Because he knew how to go to God.
Él sabía cómo adorar a Dios.
Even when he messed up, he knew how to go to God.
Aún cuando él fallaba, él sabía cómo ir a Dios.
He never ran away from God.
Él nunca corrió de Dios,
He ran to him.
él fue hacia él.
Yeah. So, David sought out
David había buscado
to renew the relationship of the people with their God.
de renovar la relación entre Dios y su pueblo.
Amen? Look at this in 1 Chronicles 13, 2. Don't even move. Just stay where you're at. 13, 2 through 3. And I give you everything.
Primera de Crónicas 13, 2 y 3.
You have that, right?
Sí.
Of course you do. It says, if it seems good to you, and if it is of the Lord, wait, let me start over because that was a mess. If it seems good to you, and if it is the will of the Lord our God, let us send word far and wide to the rest of our brothers throughout the territories of Israel, and to all the priests and to all the Levites who are with them in their towns and pasture lands, to come and join us. Let us bring the ark of our God back to us.
Dijo a toda la asamblea de Israel: si les parece bien y si es lo que el Señor nuestro Dios desea, invitemos a nuestros hermanos que se han quedado por todo el territorio de Israel y también a los sacerdotes y levitas que están en los pueblos y aldeas a que se unan a nosotros para traer de regreso el arca de nuestro Dios. La verdad es que desde el tiempo de Saúl no la hemos consultado.
For we did not inquire of it during the reign of Saul.
Porque no la habíamos consultado en el reino de Saúl.
What he's saying is,
Lo que él está diciendo es,
during that reign,
durante ese reinado,
I'm not going to criticize that king,
no voy a criticar a ese rey,
but I'm going to tell you what we didn't do.
pero le voy a decir lo que no hicimos.
He could have went against the king.
Él pudiera haber ido en contra del rey.
People always focus that he never lifted up against the king, right?
La gente siempre se enfoca que él nunca se levantó en contra del rey.
But here he's saying we need to take responsibility
Pero él dice, nosotros tenemos que tomar responsabilidad
for our lack of a relationship with God.
por nuestra falta de relación con Dios.
And we can't blame the king.
Y no podemos culpar al rey,
Even if he worshipped Satan,
aun si él adorara al enemigo,
even if he was sinning,
aun si él estuviera pecando.
we
Nosotros
need to bring the ark of God back to us.
tenemos que traer el arca del pacto hacia nosotros.
We did not inquire about it.
Nosotros no lo consultamos.
We failed God,
Fallamos a Dios.
right? Can't always blame the leaders.
No podemos siempre culpar a los líderes.
That's what the word is telling us.
Eso es lo que la palabra nos
It
indica.
just smacked us, right?
Como que nos da una
Thank you,
bofetada.
Jesus. So leaping, we know, is to jump, and he was dancing, right?
So, saltando delante del Señor,
When we dance,
cuando danzamos,
pay attention, sis, this is for you, daughter. It says an activity of dancing for pleasure or in order to entertain others.
es una actividad de baile por placer en el orden de entretener a otros.
Now, when we use it in worship,
Cuando lo usamos en la oración,
it is for the pleasure,
es para
el placer,
el placer
and for the entertainment
y para el entretenimiento
of our God.
de nuestro Dios.
There's other people that are going to watch you,
Ahí van a haber otras personas que te van a ver.
and if it doesn't lead them to God,
Si no lo lleva a ellos a Dios,
then what do?
entonces ¿qué tú estás haciendo?
Everything we do,
Todo lo que hacemos,
every dance,
todo danza,
every jump,
todo salto,
every song,
toda canción,
every sound,
todo sonido,
everything we compose,
todo aquello que componemos,
if it doesn't lead people
si no lleva a la gente
to Christ,
a Cristo,
to the Lord,
al Señor,
then who are you leading them to?
entonces ¿a dónde lo está llevando?
When they saw David leaping
Cuando
and
vieron-
jumping and dancing,
Cuando vieron a David saltando y brincando,
what did they see him leaping and jumping to?
¿qué es lo que vieron en él que estaba danzando para qué?
For God.
Para Dios.
It's like, God is coming! He was so excited!
Él estaba tan contento.
But all the witnesses,
Todos los testigos,
all the people of
Oh.
Israel, everybody was there,
toda la gente de Israel estaba ahí.
except for his wife, as we could tell.
Por supuesto, no, su esposa no estaba ahí.
We'll get to her in a bit. But wow, everyone that saw him
Pero todos los que lo vieron a él,
saw his joy for God.
vieron su gozo en
They
el
saw
Señor.
his love for God.
Vieron su amor por Dios.
What do people see when you're worshiping God?
¿Qué la gente ve en ti cuando tú estás adorando a Dios?
Do they see such a joy and in your praise for God?
¿Ven tremendo gozo en tu adoración a Dios?
Or do they see you, woe is me? Yeah, God is good.
¿O te ven a ti como que oh,
You ever
Dios
hear
es
people
bueno?
say, my life is the way He has me.
mi vida es como Él quiere?
I'm not doing well.
No estoy
I
bien.
guess it's God's will for me right now to be poor.
Entiendo yo que es la voluntad de Dios que yo esté
It's
pobre.
God's will for me to be sick.
Es la voluntad de Dios que yo esté enfermo.
So what people see in you,
Lo que la gente está viendo en ti,
and somebody who loves the healer,
que ama al sanador
someone who's sick,
y a alguien que está enfermo.
who loves the God of all silver and gold,
que ama al Dios del oro y de la plata
yeah, you don't got a pot to piss in.
y no tienen nada,
That might be wrong to say. Sorry, but that's okay. But you don't got nothing.
pero no tienen nada.
Mendigando,
Amen.
begging. You a beggar.
Mendigando.
That's
Mendigo.
probably better than the first phrase, but it's okay. Y'all can forgive me. You knew what you signed up for. So, you're a beggar.
So eres un mendigo.
You're a daughter. You're a son of the Most High King, Most High God.
Tú eres hijo e hija del más grande, sobresaliente,
And you're begging for food.
y estás mendigando comida.
Sad.
Triste.
Just saying. So Jeremiah 31:4 says, I will build you up again, and you, virgin Israel, will be rebuilt. Again you will take up the timbrels, and you go out to dance with joyfulness.
Aún te edificaré y serás edificada, oh Virgen de Israel, todavía serás adornada con tus panderos y saldrás en alegres danzas.
Did you ever see anybody dance while they're depressed?
¿Tú has visto a alguien danzando cuando está depresivo?
I mean, could you imagine going to a party?
¿Tú te imaginas yendo a una fiesta?
It's my birthday, right? How we-
Ese es mi cumpleaños.
it's my birthday. And we're all like,
Y todos estamos.
that's the most depressing thing.
Eso es algo más depresivo que hay.
That's not a dance.
No es ni un baile.
I just gotta put myself out of my misery.
Me puse yo mismo en miseria.
When you dance, it says go out to dance with joyful.
Cuando tú danzas es danzar y ir con gozo.
You have to dance with joy.
Danzar con gozo.
Not with depression,
No con depresión.
not with sickness.
No con enfermedad.
Psalms 30:11-12. Do not turn to it. Thank you.
Salmo 30 del 11 al 12.
I know you guys, you're anxious. Be anxious for nothing. I got it. I got you. So it says, you turned my wailing into dancing. You removed sackcloth and you clothed me with joy, that my heart may sing your praises and not be silent. Lord my God, I will praise you forever.
Has cambiado mi lamento en baile. Desataste mi silicio y me ceñiste de alegría. Por tanto, a ti cantaré gloria mía y no seré callado. Jehová Dios mío, te alabaré para siempre.
Sackcloth represents death,
Sacrificio significa muerte, ¿no?
mourning.
Luto.
When people, so you turned my wailing, my pain, my hardship,
Todo
that
mi dolor.
hardness, that pain, you know that you get that deep painness when you lose somebody you love.
Ese dolor intenso que uno siente cuando pierde a alguien que ama.
How can you turn that wailing, that ugly cry?
¿Cómo tú puedes volver eso eso que está fuerte, que te ha lastimado?
You ever ugly cry?
¿Tú nunca has
So
tenido
you
un
ugly
llanto feo?
Yeah, you know that ugly cry, like, you know that wailing, that deep pain.
Ese dolor intenso,
He
interno.
turns that into dancing.
Y vuelves eso, lo convierte en danza.
How does he turn your deep pain into dancing?
¿Cómo él puede convertir ese dolor intenso a danza?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just telling you, just different examples. So let's go back to this lady, right?
So, volvemos atrás a esta dama,
McCall
Mical,
looks out the window.
mirando en la ventana,
And she looks at her husband,
mirando a su esposo en la ventana, por la ventana,
looking at the king,
mirando al rey,
looking at her husband,
mirando a su
the
esposo,
one that she supposedly loves.
la persona que ella supuestamente ama.
And it says she despised him in her heart.
Y dice que lo despreció en su corazón.
To despise is to feel contempt or deep repugnance for.
Sintió repugnancia por él.
To detest.
No.
The hate, odiar.
Odio, de odio.
To loathe, to harbor, like an abomination. Like she looked at him and she was
Que ella
sick.
sintió abominación, lo miraba a él y se sentía enfermo por mirarlo.
Dang. I mean, I get mad at you, dude.
Me enojo contigo, dude.
But
I'm a translator.
but yes, he is. But I've never been in a place
Pero nunca he estado en ese lugar
to actually look at my husband
de mirar a mi esposo
doing something for God
haciendo algo para el Señor
and hate him.
y odiarlo.
She hated him.
Ella lo odiaba.
That's rough. People will look at you
La gente te va a mirar a ti
and they'll mock your worship.
y van a burlarse de tu adoración.
You cannot let them be
No puedes dejarlos a ellos
to determine
que determinen
your relationship with God. You can't let them affect that.
tu determinación de tu relación con Dios.
His wife,
Su esposa,
you can't get any closer than that.
no puede estar más cercano que eso.
Man, you talk about you having problems with your kids, right?
Tú hablas de que tú tienes problemas con tus hijos,
You have problems with family,
problemas con familiares,
right? We all have problems.
Yeah.
But what's closer than a husband and a wife?
pero ¿qué es más cercano que un esposo o esposa?
Y'all sleep with each other.
Que sirven, que
Not really.
conviven ambos,
Not really, but you're intimate.
que son íntimos,
You become one.
que vienen a ser uno.
You imagine David,
¿Tú te imaginas David,
the love of God, his heart, the
su
way he
amor,
loved God,
el amor a Dios,
becoming one with someone who hated him?
venir a ser uno con una persona que te odia?
Can you imagine that?
¿Tú te imaginas eso?
Imagine the awkwardness and that intimacy.
¿Tú te imaginas la rareza en su intimidad?
We're going to continue forward. You'll see something later. It's good. It's really good. It's just sad to see that.
Es triste de ver eso.
She looked at her husband.
O sea, ella miró a su esposo
She hated
y lo odió, lo odiaron.
him. Makes you wonder,
Te hace pensar,
was there ever really love, or was this a contract between Saul as king and,
¿realmente hubo amor o fue un
Invested in
contrato
you.
entre Saúl y David?
right? We don't have all the details. I didn't go to get all the details on that. You can look it up and read it out. You know, I'll
No,
give
no.
you that assignment.
Si no pude, no le quiero dar todos los detalles, usted puede mirarlo y verificarlo.
You can look up in the history and let me know if there was really like, it was just a contract or there was actually love between
Mire
them.
la historia y me deja saber si fue realmente un contrato o fue amor.
I'll find it. I'll get it. But my question is,
Pero mi pregunta es,
what was going on with her heart?
¿qué estaba pasando con el corazón de ella?
I want us to stop looking at people
Quiero que dejemos de estar mirando a la gente
based on their sin,
basado en sus pecados,
based on their actions.
basado en sus acciones.
Look deeper.
Vea más profundo.
What was going on with that lady's heart?
¿Qué estaba pasando con el corazón de ella?
When she looked at her husband doing something for God
Cuando ella vio a su esposo haciendo algo para el
and
Señor
she hated him.
y ella lo dio.
That's harsh.
Es duro.
Continue. David,
David,
you look at the word and it says David had prepared a place.
si usted mira la palabra, David preparó un lugar.
It says in the word that they brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place inside the tent that David had pitched for it.
Dice la palabra que trajeron el arca del Señor y hicieron un lugar dentro.
There was a process.
Hubo un proceso.
David had to prepare a place
David tuvo que preparar un lugar
for the presence of the Lord.
para la presencia del Señor.
The thing is, David was a little frustrated
So, la cosa es que David estaba un poco frustrado
because 3 months prior, because I was reading a little
porque
bit of
3
history,
meses antes,
and 3 months prior, so, Uzzah?
Uzzah.
He goes
Uzzah.
to
3 meses antes,
the ark. They're carrying the ark,
estaban cargando el arca.
and you know that nobody's supposed to touch it but the Levites or the people who are
O
assigned.
sea, nadie estaba supuesto a tocar el arca, solamente los que estaban asignados para
So
llevarla.
the ark was like going sideways.
So, el arca se movió
He wasn't assigned to touch it.
y él no estaba asignado para cargar
He
y
was
tocar.
not prepared to carry it.
No estaba preparado para cargar.
And his good intention
Y sus buenas intenciones
caused the wrath of God to bring death upon his life.
le cortó la raza de Dios para su muerte.
He went to help
Él fue a ayudar
and he died.
y murió.
So not every intention
No toda intención
of people who want to help, you
Yeah.
know a lot of people like that, right?
de aquellos que quieren ayudar
Like that, because I think you can understand what I'm saying. They have good intentions
tienen buenas
in
intenciones
the things of the Lord,
en las cosas del Señor,
but they have not been prepared.
pero no han sido
They
preparados,
have not been called,
no han sido llamados
and what they can do is bring death upon their lives
y lo que pueden traer es muerte a sus vidas,
because they have not been prepared to touch the ark.
porque no han sido preparados para tocar el arca.
So, moving on. It's like there will be a process
So, es un proceso
for you to prepare yourself
de ti para prepararte tú mismo.
to that assigned place. What's that assigned place right now in this day?
¿Cuál es el lugar asignado en este día?
What's the place that you prepare for God's presence?
¿Cuál es el lugar que tú has preparado hoy aquí?
What's the place?
¿Cuál es el lugar?
Well, I say my heart.
Your heart.
Your heart.
You're the temple.
Tú eres el templo.
We don't have to make a temple of tents.
No tienes que hacer un templo
You
de...
don't have to say, let's bring the Lord to this temple,
No tienes que decir, yo voy a traer a Dios a este
because
templo.
we are the church.
Porque somos la iglesia.
He lives in us.
Él vive en nosotros.
I will rebuild the temples within you.
Se voy a construir el templo en ti.
It's in you.
Es en ti.
So everything you need
Todo lo que tú necesitas
of God
de Dios
for people,
para las personas,
for your life,
para tu vida,
is within you.
está en ti.
Living waters flow.
Son las aguas corriendo.
The living waters flow, right?
Si las aguas vivientes
So
corriendo,
they're flowing through you.
fluyendo de ti.
Out of your belly, you will have
Fuera de tu,
living waters, right?
las aguas vivientes.
The blood of the Lamb washes you clean.
So, la sangre del cordero te limpia del pecado.
Jesus is within your heart.
Jesús está en tu
The
corazón.
Holy Spirit's here to comfort and guide
El
you.
Espíritu Santo está tu conforte para guiarte.
Where do you need to go to find the glory of God?
¿Dónde tú necesitas ir para conseguir la gloria de Dios?
Within you.
Está en
If
ti.
you go to church
Si tú vas a la iglesia
to get the glory of God,
para buscar la gloria de Dios,
it's because He's not within you.
es porque no está en ti.
All you have to do is look within you.
Es lo que tienes que hacer es mirar en ti.
If
dentro
you've
de ti.
accepted the Lord as your Lord and Savior,
Si tú has aceptado al Señor como tu
and
Salvador
you've been born again,
y tú has nacido de nuevo,
everything you need is here.
todo lo que tú necesitas está aquí.
Amen.
Everything's within you.
Todo está en ti.
Call it out.
Llámalo afuera.
Bring it out.
Sácalo.
But He prepared a place,
Pero
right?
Él preparó un lugar.
So there was a process for that preparing.
So, fue un proceso para preparar eso.
What's the process?
¿Cuál es el proceso?
Did you see His passionate worship?
¿Tú viste la pasión de Él para la
Did you
adoración?
see His craziness?
¿Tú viste su locura?
And He prepared that rightful place
Y Él preparó ese lugar
for the presence of the Lord.
para la presencia del Señor.
And then talk about your relationship when you were dating.
Y hablando de tu
Everybody else
relación
has
cuando tú
dated?
estabas siendo de novio,
Everybody has, right? You dated at one point? Even though y'all been together for 100 years?
59, 59, we've been together.
The thing is that, what wouldn't you do to let them know that you love them?
¿qué tú hacías para dejarles saber que tú le amabas?
What would we not do?
What would you not do for them?
¿O qué tú no harías por ellos?
Pastor Angel, what did you do the first Easter we met?
Well, it was a big snowstorm.
96, you remember 4
Yeah.
feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was the only guy in the street walking from Mechanic Street to all the way down to where she used to live on.
He lived like right on,
Mechanic
you know
Street.
where Vega is?
Yeah.
South 4th Street over there. He walked all the way from over there to Northeast Middle School.
So yo caminé de Vega hasta el otro lado de allá del Northeast School.
That was real love.
That was some love. So 3 to 4 feet of snow,
3 o 4 pies de
and he
ahí.
walked over
Y él, y él caminó por eso.
to let me know he cared for me.
Por like 2 feet. So.
That was like 1 month after. he
But
said-
again, you're like a
Fue un
million
meme,
feet
pues.
tall. That's probably normal for you. You're like, let me just skip.
No, still.
So the point is that it's hard because that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
his first snowstorm. He had never experienced
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
Sí, fue duro porque era una tormenta así tan fuerte.
But that first action
Pero esa primera acción
let me know that he cared for me.
pero me dejó saber que él quería de mí, que me cuidaba de mí.
Cause I
Le
don't know,
importaba.
and I didn't know if I would have done that for him.
Yo no sabía si yo hubiera hecho eso por él.
3 to 4 feet of snow, dude. I love you. We'll talk over the phone. And those were the days of beepers. Remember that?
¿Te acuerdas? Eran los días de los beepers.
I was cool with my purple beeper. Don't judge me.
Los
And
beepers
so
con-
we had a little code that would tell each other, "I love you."
Teníamos un código que nos decíamos uno al otro, te amo.
And he would text me 777,
Y él me testeaba 777.
and it would mean I love him.
Y eso
So-
significa te amo.
Like, so I know it sounds so lame. It was lame. It absolutely was lame. But are you feeling that giggliness and that silliness?
Pero tú
You feel
sientes
that?
eso.
You feel that right now, right, in the room?
Yeah.
And that's what you should feel with your relationship with the Lord. This is just human level.
Eso es lo que tú deberías sentir con tu relación con el Señor. Estoy hablando de el amor humano aquí.
When you're talking about the love of God,
Pero cuando tú hablas del amor del Señor,
I could be bothered about something,
puedo estar molesta por algo.
and you text me a Bible verse,
Tú me testeas un versículo bíblico.
and I'm like, I get so excited.
Me pongo bien excitado.
And I could be mad.
Puedo estar enojada.
Like, even if I'm mad at Pastor Angel.
Pero aún que esté enojada con Pastor Ángel.
And he says, I'm sorry.
Y él dice, lo siento.
I'm like, I love you. And it reminds me
Pero me recuerda
of the love I have for him.
del amor que tengo por él.
Because the action
Porque la acción
doesn't speak louder than the love.
no habla más alto que el amor.
Amen?
Mm.
So that's what I want you to understand.
Eso es lo que quiero que usted entienda.
That David had prepared a place of love
Que David preparó un lugar de amor
for the Lord,
para el Señor,
for his presence.
para su presencia.
Then you talk about the burnt offerings. You continue forward in those verses.
Cuando tú miras más adelante los versículos,
And he talks about the burnt offering and a peace offering.
la ofrenda de paz
La ofrenda que se quemó, I
y
don't
la
know.
ofrenda quemada.
Yeah. So both of them are a tribute to God.
Todas son atribuidas al Señor.
You know, one is
Una es
a short sacrifice,
un sacrificio corto,
but the other one
pero la otra
is a peace offering.
es una ofrenda de paz.
And that's where peace offerings come.
Y ahí es donde viene la ofrenda de paz.
And I never knew this.
Y nunca sabía esto.
You ever see where a husband and wife are fighting
¿Tú has visto alguna vez cuando esposo y esposa pelean
and the husband comes home with some flowers?
y el esposo viene a la casa con flores?
I come in with a peace offering.
Yo vengo con una ofrenda de paz.
Right? Am I wrong? No, I'm not. So, so the peace offering
So, la ofrenda de paz
is not a man-made thing.
no es una cosa de hombre, ¿no?
David was mad at the Lord
David estaba enojado con el Señor
because the Lord had killed Uzzah.
porque el Señor había matado a Usa.
And he kept the ark of the presence of the Lord in these people's houses for 3 months.
Y mantuvo la arca del pacto por 3 meses en casa de esas personas.
And then it says the whole house
Y toda la casa
was all blessed.
estaba bendecida.
When the presence of the Lord comes to your life,
Cuando la presencia de Dios viene a tu vida,
comes to your home,
viene a tu casa,
comes to your family,
a tu familia,
your whole family is blessed.
toda tu familia bendecida.
It was just there because David was mad.
Solamente estaba ahí porque David estaba enojado.
He was mad. He was mad because he didn't want anybody to die.
No quería que nadie muriera.
And he was upset like, dude, like, God, why you kill somebody for that?
Señor, porque tú mataste a alguien por eso.
But the Lord's point is,
Pero el punto del Señor es,
there's people that cannot touch this.
pero hay gente que no puede tocarlo.
There's people who don't know what this is.
Hay gente que no sabe, no conoce lo que es
And their
esto.
good intentions
Y sus buenas intenciones
won't pick it
no van a ser buenas.
up, right? How many good people do we know are in hell right now?
¿Cuántas personas buenas conocemos que están en el infierno ahora mismo?
I told my dad once,
Yo le dije una vez a mi papá,
I said, good people go to hell too,
la gente buena también va al infierno.
right? So we need to be assured
Tenemos que estar asegurados
that what we're bringing into our home
que lo que traemos a nuestra casa
is the presence of God.
es la presencia del Señor.
We need to be careful.
Tenemos que tener cuidado.
So he was upset
Se no estaba molesto
with God. So
con el Señor.
we can get upset,
Podemos molestarnos,
but we got to get back to a place of peace.
pero tenemos que volver al lugar de paz.
And unlike David, we don't have 3 months to take
No
time.
como David que tuvo 3 meses.
So if you look at the sacrifice,
Si tú miras el sacrificio,
he blessed every single person that was there.
él bendijo a toda persona que estaba ahí.
Every person received a loaf of bread,
Todos aquellos recibieron un pedazo de pan,
a cake of dates,
una torta de dátiles
and cake of raisins.
y una de uvas pasas.
To each person,
Para toda persona, cada persona.
not per family,
No por familia,
to each person in the crowd of
por
Israelites.
cada persona que estaba ahí.
And he's real specific in the
Y es
word,
bien específico en eso.
both men and women.
Ambos, hombres y mujeres.
There are many times in the word that we only hear about the women,
Muchas cosas a veces en la palabra oímos solamente de
or we
mujeres
hear about the men.
o oímos de los hombres.
If we talk about the fish and the bread,
Si hablamos de los panes y los peces,
they only talk about the men
solamente habla de los hombres
and the families that were there.
y las familias que estaban
But
ahí.
this was specific to the men and women,
Pero aquí es específico, habla de hombres y mujeres.
which is telling you
Lo está diciendo,
we can all receive of that.
Todos podemos
We
recibir.
can all receive of that offering.
Todos podemos recibir esa
We
ofrenda.
can all share in the blessing of the Lord.
Todos podemos recibir y compartir esa bendición.
Could you imagine all of Bethlehem and Allentown here and around here,
¿Tú te imaginas todo Allentown y Flex aquí alrededor?
and every single person receive a loaf of bread and 2 cakes
Y todos reciben una ofrenda de pan y de tortas
to take home?
para llevar a la casa.
Which is even better if you think about
Por
this.
eso mira, es aún mayor, mejor.
Why?
¿Por qué?
These 3 gifts
Estos 3
were
regalos
part of the offering of the sacrifice.
serán parte de la ofrenda, del sacrificio
They were able to take it.
que podían llevar a la casa.
So what does that say?
¿Qué nos dice?
You're able to bring the presence.
Tú tienes disponibilidad de traer
What
un
was
regalo.
touched by the Lord
Lo que tocado por el Señor.
can come home
Puede venir a la casa
for you to bless your family,
para bendecir a tu familia,
for you to bless your neighbors,
para bendecir a tu
for you to
vecino,
bless your city,
para bendecir a tu
for
ciudad,
you to get blessed yourself.
para tú ser bendecido tú mismo.
At that time, only certain people in those tents could be blessed by God.
A este momento la gente ha sido bendecido
No, during that time,
durante este tiempo.
ese tiempo,
Ese tiempo.
if you wanted to be blessed by God,
Si tú querías ser bendecido por Dios,
you had to be a high priest.
tenías que ser un sacerdote.
You couldn't just go into the tent of God,
No podías ir a la presencia de Dios
just a regular person. You and I would be dead.
como una persona regular y íbamos a ser muertos.
What he was doing was breaking all that.
Él estaba rompiendo todo eso.
And he was showing us that the ark of God, the presence of the Lord,
Él nos estaba enseñando que la presencia del arca de
is
Dios,
something fluid.
algo que fluye,
The presence of the Lord flows.
que la presencia de Dios fluye.
The presence of the Lord is not something that can be boxed into a
La
church.
presencia de Dios no es algo que se puede mantener en una caja, en una iglesia.
You can't put it into a building.
No puedes ponerla en un edificio.
It flows through people.
Fluye a través de la gente.
That's why they were able to take it with them
Por eso es que estaban dispuestos a llevarla a donde quiera con ellos
and share with everybody.
y compartirla con
It
todos.
broke from the rules.
Rompió las reglas.
David broke every rule.
David rompió todas las reglas.
Everything David was not supposed to do
Todo aquello que no era supuesto hacer
is what David did.
es lo que David hizo.
Right? We know that from the word. It
Sabemos
tells
eso
you
de
that. So David goes home. Everybody goes home and blesses their families, right?
So, David fue a la casa y bendijo a su familia.
So David goes home.
David fue a la casa.
We're talking about his wife again.
Hablamos de la esposa nuevamente.
Michal, daughter of Saul, came out to meet him.
So, Micael, la hija de Saúl, vino a encontrarse con él.
Because how the king of Israel has distinguished himself, going around half naked in full view of the slave girls of his servants as any vulgar fellow.
Qué distinguido se ha visto hoy el rey de Israel, terminándose como un cualquiera en presencia de las esclavas de sus oficiales.
And it wasn't even a question mark, it was an exclamation.
No fue una pregunta, sino una exclamación.
So this was her just telling him off.
So, diciéndole ella a él,
She judged him.
lo juzgó.
She weighed his worship.
Ella pesó su adoración.
And that's harsh.
Eso es duro.
When people say, oh, that's fake.
Cuando la gente dice, oh, eso no es
That's
real.
not real.
No es real.
That's not the Holy Spirit.
No es el Espíritu Santo.
That's not God using Heather.
No es Dios usando a Heather.
Who am I
¿Quién soy yo
to judge your worship?
para juzgar tu
Who am I
adoración?
to weigh your relationship before God?
¿Quién soy yo para pesar tu relación con Dios?
You gotta see his answer. His answer's to bomb.com.
Tú tienes que ver su contestación.
She judged him. She was shamed.
Lo juzgó, sintió vergüenza.
And that comes with the spirit of pride.
Y vino con el espíritu de arrogancia.
She was
Orgullo.
arrogant. She was orgullosa, yeah. Prideful.
Era bien orgullosa.
A lot of people say she was jealous
Mucha gente dice que ella era celosa,
because she wanted that worship for her.
porque ella quería esa adoración para ella.
And I've read through this
Y yo leí a través de esto
and I've researched.
y busqué.
That's a lie.
Era
That's a lie.
una mentira.
Yeah. People make up stuff to justify a sermon they want to preach.
La gente se justifica para predicar el sermón que quieren,
But this has nothing to do with it.
pero no tiene que ver nada con
This
eso.
has to do with pride.
Tiene que ver esto con orgullo,
This has to do with rebellion.
con rebelión.
Do we have 100 people upstairs? I'm just saying. Can you go check on them? Because there's a lot of movement up there. So she was prideful.
Era una mujer orgullosa.
And it says, she's talking about how he distinguished himself.
Como ella estaba hablando como él
Distingo.
se distinguió él mismo.
Yeah, like you're royalty.
Tu realeza.
You are the king.
Tú eres el rey.
You are the ruler.
Tú eres el que está mandando.
You're in power.
El
You're
empoderado.
the king.
Ajá, empoderado, el rey.
And you half dressed.
Tú tienes traje.
You don't even have all your proper clothing on.
Tú no tienes tu ropa apropiada.
You're dressing like some people from the streets.
Tú estás vistiendo como gente de la calle.
You look in hood.
Te ves como gente
You look
de la
like a gangster.
como un ganguero.
Right? He looked like he was gangster, like the way she's saying it.
De la forma que ella lo estaba diciendo.
Vulgar
Vulgar.
is it's a tough word to use against somebody.
Es una palabra bien fuerte usarlo en contra de alguien.
And you dressing like a vulgar guy off the street.
Y tú estás vistiendo como alguien vulgar de la
That's
calle.
what she told him.
Eso fue lo que le dijo ella.
So she's saying, I'm prideful.
Se está diciendo yo soy orgullosa.
I need to look a certain way.
Tengo que verlo de cierta forma.
My husband needs to look a certain way.
Mi esposo tiene que verse de cierta forma.
We are royalty.
Somos realeza.
We are better
Somos mejores
than those slaves.
que esas esclavos.
Right.
Esclavos.
Because that's basically what she's saying. I don't see jealousy here. I just
Eso
see pride.
básicamente lo que ella está diciendo. Yo no veo cero, estoy viendo que ella es orgullosa.
It doesn't state anywhere that she wanted the worship for her.
No dice en ningún lado que ella quería esa adoración.
When you think about Jesus,
Cuando tú piensas en Jesús,
the way that David was dressed,
de la forma que David estaba vestido,
and he came in humble,
y él vino y se humilló,
right? Jesus came into skin.
so Jesús vino a la piel,
That's the most humbling thing you could do,
de la forma más humilde que puede haber,
because you're God,
porque tú eres Dios
and you're going to come into skin.
y tú vienes a ser carne.
When in the Word He calls us mere mortals,
Cuando la palabra nos llama,
so He came into skin. He's humble, right?
él es humilde.
David
David
was dressed like the people of the town.
estaba vestido como la gente del pueblo.
He didn't look like royalty.
No se veía como realeza.
And then she goes like this. He goes like this to her. I'm going to talk to you about pride a second. Hold on.
Le voy a hablar de orgullo en un momento.
There's 7 symptoms of pride.
Hay 7 síntomas de un corazón orgulloso.
A prideful heart
Un corazón orgulloso
has fear.
tiene temor.
Pride is at the root of fear and anxiety.
So, el orgullo es la raíz del temor y de la ansiedad.
You know that? When we refuse to humbly rest in God's sovereign care,
Cuando nosotros lo refutamos de humillarnos delante de la soberanía de Dios,
fear
el temor
does not let us trust in God.
no nos deja confiar en el Señor.
We don't trust in God when
No
we fear,
confiamos en el Señor cuando tenemos temor.
right? Because it says perfect
Miedo.
love casts out all fear.
Porque dice que el perfecto amor echa fuera el temor.
So when you're rooted in fear,
Cuando tú gobiernas en temor,
you're not trusting God.
no confías en el Señor.
Another symptom of a prideful heart is entitlement.
Otro síntoma de un corazón orgulloso es what's entitlement?
Entitlement, gente que se cree que se le debe todo.
O gente que se le debe, okay.
Yeah, well, I said that. Okay.
Arrogante como
Yeah,
gente.
well, it's the same word as pride. You don't want to say the same word.
Okay.
Entitlement, gente que se cree que se debe todo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. 10,000 words for 1 minute. Entitlement. So these are people
Estos son personas
that think they deserve it all.
que se lo merecen todo.
I'm the queen.
Yo soy la reina,
I'm the pastor.
yo soy el pastor.
When I walk in,
Cuando yo camino y
you
entro,
need to acknowledge me.
tú tienes que entenderme que estoy aquí.
You need to serve me first for dinner, not everybody else.
Tú tienes que servirme a mí primero.
You ever
antes
see
de
that
todo
in
el
the
mundo.
churches
¿Tú has visto eso en alguna
where
iglesia?
pastors have to be served first?
Donde el pastor tiene que ser servido primero,
Not here.
no aquí.
I should be served last, if at all.
Deben ser servidos última y si acaso.
If there's other people that come in, they get served first.
Si vienen otras personas, deberían ser servidos primero.
What does the word tell us about Jesus?
¿Qué nos dice la Biblia acerca de Jesús?
I came to serve, not
Yo
to
vine a
serve,
servir y no a ser servido.
right? When it talks about when we get to heaven, what does he say?
Cuando dice la Biblia que cuando vayamos al cielo, ¿qué nos dice?
He's going to serve us at the table.
Él nos va a servir en la mesa.
I'm going to rest eternally with my Lord, and he's going to be busy serving me.
Voy a descansar con el Señor en la eternidad, pero Él va a estar ocupado sirviéndome.
So what does he teach us about serving?
¿Qué nos está enseñando en el servicio? El
You
servicio.
serve here naturally.
tú sirves aquí naturalmente,
you'll be served up there supernatural.
vas a ser servido allá
Amen.
supernatural.
Amen? So, entitlement,
So, alguien que se cree que se lo merece todo,
they don't feel that.
no siente eso.
They feel they need to be constantly honored.
Ellos piensan que siempre deben ser
They
honrados,
need to be served.
tienen que ser servidos.
There are people who are not grateful.
Gente que no son agradecidos.
You ever say to somebody, oh, you look so lovely today.
Hay gente que tú dices, oh, te ves bien hoy.
And I joke with you guys. I'm like, I know.
Yo relajo con ustedes y les digo, no, yo sé.
But you know, there's people that really, like, duh,
Hay gente que realmente son,
they don't know how to say thank you.
no saben decir gracias.
You feed them, you take care of them,
Tú le das comida, los ayudas.
and there's no thanks for it.
Y no hay el sentido de gracia.
Because it's like, I'm me. I deserve it. Take care
Porque
of me
yo me
'cause
lo
I'm the
merezco,
mom.
porque soy yo.
Right? People pleasing.
Gente que le gusta complacer.
Prideful people
Gente orgullosa.
are more concerned with what others think than what God thinks.
Son más conscientes a lo que otros dicen que a lo que Dios piensa, lo que Dios dice.
You ever see a prideful person? They're like, but what are the people going to say?
¿Has visto a la gente que son orgullosas que dicen, pero qué la
What
gente
do
va a
they
decir?
think about me online?
Pero qué van a pensar de mí en las redes.
I love you all, but I don't care.
Lo amo a todos, pero no me importa.
I care if I've offended you, yes.
Me
Because my goal is
importa
not
si
to
te
hurt you.
ofendo a ti.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
No quiero herir a nadie.
But the reality is, if I'm pleasing you and not pleasing God, then I failed.
Pero la realidad es que si te complazco a ti y no complazco a Dios, fracaso.
But there's a way to tell people truth
Pero hay una forma de decirle a la gente la verdad,
in love
en amor,
where it doesn't create offense.
que no crea ofensa.
Telling somebody, yo, you're going to the lake of fire, you're in sin,
Decirle a una persona que te da palabra de fuego, estás en pecado,
or telling them, you know what, the Lord wants a closer relationship with you.
el Señor quiere una relación más cercana contigo.
There's a way to tell people that God loves them
Hay muchas formas de decirle, hay formas de decirle a una persona que Dios le ama,
without condemning them.
sin condenarles.
And you can still please God.
Y aún puedes,
Please God.
please God,
Complacer a Dios.
complacer a Dios.
Prayerlessness.
Falta de oración.
People who are prideful,
Gente que son orgullosas,
they depend on their own strength.
dependen de su propia
They
fuerza.
don't need God.
No necesitan a
They
Dios.
don't need to pray.
No necesitan orar.
I got it all.
Yo lo tengo.
I even got God in my pocket.
Aún tengo a Dios en mi bolsillo.
Because God still blesses me even though I don't spend as much time as you in prayer.
Porque Dios aún me bendice aunque no paso tiempo con Él.
Right? How many people you know say, oh, I serve God?
¿Cuánta gente tú conoces que dice, yo le sirvo a Dios?
I have not found that Bible verse.
No he conseguido ese versículo bíblico.
There is no Bible verse that says I serve God in my own way.
No he conseguido ese versículo que dice, yo le sirvo al Señor de la forma que yo quiero.
There's verses and verses that show us how to serve the Lord.
Nos dice versículo y versículo de cómo servirle a Dios.
And it's not our own prideful ways.
Y no es nuestra forma propia de orgullo.
Lean not on your own understanding.
No te ajustes a tu propio entendimiento.
Hypocrisy,
Hipocresía
that's another sign.
es otro signo.
Rebellion,
Rebelión,
that's another sign of pride.
otro signo de
If we
orgullo.
look at her,
Si lo miramos a ella,
now we look at Michal.
mirando a Mical,
She was prideful against the God in him.
ella era orgullosa en contra de él y de Dios.
She was rebelling against the God in him as well.
Ella tenía rebelión en contra de Dios y de él.
She was rebelling against God.
Tenía rebelión en contra de Dios.
Two verses so you understand a little bit more about pride.
Son dos versículos para que usted pueda entender un poquito más de rebelión.
Proverbs 16:18.
Proverbios 16 y 8.
Pride goes before destruction.
Antes del quebrantamiento es la soberbia.
So, and then Proverbs 16:5. The next one. Yeah, it's okay, you'll know it. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
Todos aquellos que tienen orgullo en su corazón es abominación al Señor.
They, the prideful person,
Las personas orgullosas
is an abomination before the Lord.
es una abominación delante del Señor.
That's harsh.
Es duro.
And it says, and though hand join in hand, he shall not go unpunished. He will be punished.
Va a ser castigado.
The prideful person will be punished.
La persona orgullosa va a ser castigada.
Now we go to David's response to his wife.
So, veamos
That's further down. That's 21, verse 21. You got it?
Okay.
David's response to his wife, to the queen.
Él respondió a su esposa, la reina,
to the person he loves,
la persona que él ama,
dude, I'm going to fight with you. David said,
David.
it was before the Lord who chose me rather than your father. We'll read that portion.
Lo hice en presencia del Señor, quien en vez de escoger a tu padre,
Or, no, he didn't choose, he chose me then. Okay, yeah. Or any from this house when he appointed me ruler over the Lord's people in Israel.
o a cualquier otro de su familia, me escogió a mí y me hizo gobernante de Israel, que es el pueblo del Señor.
I will celebrate before the Lord.
De modo que seguiré bailando en presencia del Señor.
And then my favorite verses ever.
Y mi favorito versículo,
Because people will criticize your worship,
porque la gente va a criticar tu adoración,
but you don't ever see them worshiping.
pero no los ves a ellos adorando.
It's like the Lord says in the word, they stand at the gate,
Es como dice la palabra del Señor, que se paran en la puerta,
they don't enter,
no entran,
but they don't let you enter.
pero no dejan entrar.
So it goes, if you thought, this is my version
Esta es mi
of
versión.
David's verses, okay?
Esta es mi versión de David.
If you thought that was bad,
Si tú piensas que eso fue malo,
if you thought that was wrong,
si tú piensas que eso fue erróneo,
he goes like this, he goes, I will become even more undignified than this.
y me rebajaré más todavía.
Means I'm going to get myself lower.
Eso es decir, que me voy a poner más bajo.
If I looked like a vulgar man before,
Si me veía como un hombre vulgar antes,
I'm going to look like trash now.
me voy a ver como basura ahora.
That's what he's saying. Am I reading it wrong?
Eso es lo que está diciendo.
And I will be humiliated
Hasta humillarme
in my own eyes.
completamente.
I'm just going to lose all shame.
Voy a perder toda vergüenza.
My worship is going to be so undignified.
Mi adoración será
It's
bien
going to be
humillante.
such a hot mess
Va a ser un reguero.
that if you have an issue with my first worship,
Que si tuviste problemas con mi primera
you're
adoración,
probably going to vomit when I do this.
probablemente vas a vomitar con lo que yo haga.
Because I'm going to come before the Lord
Porque voy a venir delante del Señor
even more undignified than ever.
más humillante que
Can
antes.
you imagine
¿Te imaginas?
undignified worship?
Una adoración humillante.
That when we come before the Lord,
Que cuando venimos delante del Señor,
we're so not concerned with the people around us,
que no estamos pendientes de la gente alrededor de nosotros,
not even our husband,
ni aún los esposos o esposas,
not our wives,
o esposas,
not our girlfriends,
ni novias,
not our boyfriends, because that's the
No.
closest, right?
porque son los más
Amen.
cercanos,
That's who was coming at him.
porque eso es lo que está viniendo a él.
So no relationship
No relaciones,
matters to your worship before the Lord.
no importa
Amen.
ante tu
Not
adoración,
even my relationship with him.
ni aún mi relación con él.
If he don't want to worship the Lord,
Si él no quiere adorar a Dios,
that's his problem.
ese es su problema.
If I don't want to worship the Lord, are you going to stop worshiping the
Si
Lord?
no quiero adorar al Señor, ¿tú no vas a adorar a Dios? No, yo sigo adorando a Dios.
I'm going to continue to worship the Lord.
Amen.
Right? If I throw myself on the floor, which we've seen that before,
Si me tiro al piso,
Amen.
right? It doesn't matter.
no importa.
It shouldn't matter to you.
No debería de importarte a ti.
You should be celebrating with me.
Tú deberías estar celebrando conmigo.
Because she recognized from the beginning that he was doing this before the Lord. Because that's what it says at the
Ella
beginning.
reconoció desde antes que él estaba haciendo eso para el Señor.
But she was more concerned with what people would say.
Pero ella estaba más pendiente de lo que la gente pensaba.
And his worship was just, blah. He was just sprawled out, thrown on the floor, did whatever.
Su adoración era tirado en el piso, arrastrado ahí en el piso.
It says he was half naked.
Dice la Biblia que estaba a mitad desnudo.
When we think about naked, which we were told he was naked, I was told that in the past.
Cuando pensamos en la desnudez, que nos habían dicho desde
What's
antes que estaba
naked to us is no clothing, right?
desnudo, para nosotros es no ropa.
What was naked to him, he was wearing just his linens underneath. It's almost like underwear.
So, cuando dice desnudez para él es como que estaba con su ropa interior.
So he had clothing,
Él tenía ropa,
but he didn't have appropriate clothing.
pero no tenía la ropa apropiada.
We have focused so much on clothing
Nos hemos enfocado tanto en la ropa
and what we were taught in the past of how you had to look and how you had to dress.
y cómo nos habían enseñado en el pasado cómo tú verte, cómo vestirte.
How much more undignified can you get than just your underwears?
¿Cómo más humillante tú te puedes ver en tu
Right?
tu ropa interior.
He's saying, you got a problem with what I was doing. Wait till I come out again. I'm coming.
Si tienes problema con lo que yo estaba haciendo, espera que yo venga otra vez.
That's what he said. I can't make it up. I will become even more undignified than this, and I will be humiliated in my own eyes.
Si me rebajaré más todavía hasta humillarme completamente.
But by these slave girls you spoke of,
Sin embargo, estas mismas esclavas de quienes hablas
I will be held in honor.
me rendirán honores.
It's sad that the slaves could honor him and the worship he had,
Es triste que las esclavas lo honraban a él,
but his own wife
pero su propia esposa
could not.
no podía.
He's letting her know. He let her know.
Él le estaba dejando saber.
That's honor.
Eso es honra.
Honor doesn't mean we agree.
Honra no significa que estamos de acuerdo.
You may honor God in me,
Si tú honras a Dios en mí,
doesn't mean that you're going to agree with everything I do.
esto no quiere decir que tú vas a estar de acuerdo con todo lo que yo hago.
But those girls honored the God in him.
Pero esas niñas honraron el Dios de él.
And he let her know,
Y él le dejó saber,
you don't honor.
tú no honras.
You know that I was worshiping before the
Tú
Lord.
sabes que yo estaba adorando delante del Señor.
And you don't even honor me or the God in me.
Y tú nunca ni me adoras a mí ni al Dios que yo adoro.
That's rough.
Es duro.
She thought she was better than something.
Ella pensó que era mejor que todo, que cualquier otra
And
cosa.
her mocking his worship
Su burla a la adoración
produced her barrenness.
produjo esterilidad.
And this is the last verse.
Y este es el último
And
versículo,
it's in verse 23.
versículo 23.
It says, and Michal, daughter of Saul, had no children to the day of her death.
Y Mical, hija de Saúl, murió sin haber tenido hijo.
The last verse, it broke my heart.
El último versículo rompió mi corazón,
Because no children,
porque no niños,
there was no generation of death to bring.
no hubo generación.
She didn't even get the opportunity
Ella no tuvo ni la oportunidad
as a queen
como reina
to bring in a child.
de traer un hijo.
Which is just bad in general. Can you imagine the whole kingdom looking at her?
Porque tú me imaginas, imagínate eso mirando todo el reino.
You can't even produce life.
Tú no puedes producir vida.
Shut up. You got nothing to say.
No tienes nada que decir.
You have nothing to give.
No tienes nada que dar.
And it said, and it's like she was cursed, you know?
Ella fue maldita.
Something that I learned in the word,
Algo que aprendí en la palabra,
and something that my spirit started questioning.
que mi espíritu me empezó a cuestionar.
Did God close her womb?
El Señor cerró su vientre,
Or did David never have sex with her again?
o David nunca tuvo ningún tipo de relación con ella,
Or both?
o ambos.
That's pretty bad.
Es triste.
Because not your husband, not the king,
No tu esposo, no el rey,
not the king of kings,
no el rey de reyes,
none of them wanted to touch you.
nadie la quería tocar.
And I know that was harsh. Genesis 30, 22 through 23 says, Then God remembered Rachel. He listened to her and enabled her to conceive. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. God had taken away my disgrace.
En Génesis 30, 22, y se acordó Dios de Raquel y la oyó Dios, y le concedió hijos, y concibió y dio a luz un hijo, y dijo, Dios ha quitado mi afrenta.
There are things that happen to us
Hay cosas que han sucedido a nosotros,
that curse and shame come
que
over.
bendicen, que maldicen, perdón, y que
And
traen
wombs
vergüenza.
can be opened,
Y que el vientre puede ser abierto,
like it was here in Rachel's case,
como aquí en el caso de Raquel,
or wombs can be closed.
o pueden ser cerradas el vientre.
There's other verses in the Bible that talk about it.
Hay otro versículo en la Biblia que habla de eso.
So God opens wombs and closes wombs.
El Señor abre vientres y cierra vientres.
Do not let the mocking or distaste of someone's worship.
No dejes que la burla de la...
Don't let mocking
No dejes que la burla
of someone's worship
de la adoración de alguien
close your womb.
cierre tu vientre.
Don't let it bring death upon your life.
No dejes que traiga muerte a
Because
ti.
you can't carry
Porque no puedes cargar
life
vida.
if you're cursing it.
Y si tú la maldices.
When you're cursing someone's worship,
Cuando tú maldices la adoración de alguien,
when you mock their worship,
cuando tú te burlas de la adoración,
you bring curse upon your life. You bring death upon your life.
trae muerte y trae maldición a tu vida.
And the last verse
El último versículo,
tells you she could never conceive.
ella nunca pudo tener hijos,
She could never have children.
nunca pudo tener hijos.
And it wasn't that he ever had intimacy with her ever again?
Tal vez puede ser que no tuvo intimidad con ella,
Or was she just rejected to the side
o fue rechazada hacia un lado,
because she did that?
porque ella hizo eso.
Her mocking produced death
Su burla produjo muerte,
because it talked about no life coming out of her womb,
porque dice que no vida vino de su vientre
and then she died.
y ya murió.
It doesn't say how long it took.
No dice cuánto tiempo le tomó.
It could have taken 10 years,
Pudo ser 10 años,
could have taken 30 years.
30.
But could you imagine if she was 80 years old and she lived that long in a palace with no life?
Pero tú te imaginas con 80 años viviendo todo ese tiempo sin traer vida,
Watching your husband and the kingdom enjoy life,
mirando al esposo y al rey y su reinado
and you operating in that spirit of death.
y operando en ese espíritu de muerte.
And then it takes us back to her dad, Saul.
Y nos lleva a nosotros a su padre, Saúl.
You think about the history of how she was raised.
Tú mira la historia de cómo ella fue criada.
And that's why I want you to always have compassion on people.
Por eso que le digo que siempre tenga compasión con la gente.
They may be mocking something,
Tal vez puedan burlarse de algo,
but it could be from a place of ignorance,
pero puede ser de un lugar de ignorancia.
right? It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Mi gente es destruida por falta de
This
conocimiento.
lady never got the knowledge she needed,
Esta mujer nunca tuvo el conocimiento que debería
and it brought destruction and death to her life
y trajo destrucción y muerte para su vida,
from mocking out of ignorance.
para burlándose por medio de la ignorancia.
You can't produce what you mock.
Tú no puedes producir lo que tú te burlas.
If you mock something
Si tú te burlas de algo,
of life,
de vida,
you can't produce it.
no puedes producir.
You can't bring life
No puedes traer vida
if you don't have it in you.
si no la tienes en ti.
And this life that we're talking about,
Y esta vida de que estamos hablando
it's only through intimacy with God.
solamente es a través de la intimidad con Dios.
Because she lost that intimacy, right?
Ella perdió esa intimidad
With man and God.
con el hombre y con Dios.
I want us to go deeper with the Lord.
Quiero que vayamos más profundo con el Señor,
But be careful not to mock anyone else's worship.
pero tenga cuidado de burlarse de la adoración de otros.
You don't want to bring curse upon your life.
No quieres traer maldición a tu vida.
Mm. Mm.